April 26th, Judges 6 1 through 40. Then the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord. So the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian for 7 years. And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel, because the Midianites, the children of Israel, made for themselves the dens, the caves, and the strongholds which are in the mountains. So it was, whenever Israel had sown, Midianites would come up, also Amalekites, and the people of the east would come up against them. Then they would encamp against them and destroy the produce of the earth as far as Gaza, and leave no substance for Israel, neither sheep nor ox nor donkey, for they would come up with their livestock and their tents, coming in as numerous as locusts. Both they and their camels were without number, and they would enter the land and destroy it. So Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites, and the children of Israel cried out to the Lord. And it came to pass, when the children of Israel cried out to the Lord because of the Midianites, the Lord sent a prophet to the children of Israel, who said to them, Thus says the Lord God of Israel, I brought you up out of Egypt, and brought you out of the house of bondage. And I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of all who oppressed you, and drove them out before you, and gave you their land. Also I said to you, I am the Lord your God. Do not fear the gods of the Amorites who dwell in your land, but you have not obeyed my voice. Now the angel of the Lord came and sat under the terebinth tree, which was in Ophrah, which belonged to Josiah the Asbarite, who while his son Gideon thrashed wheat in the winepress in order to hide it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said to him, The Lord is with you, you mighty man of valor. Gideon said to him, O my Lord, if the Lord is with us, why then has all this happened to us? And where are all the miracles which our fathers told us about, saying, Did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord has forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites. Then the Lord turned to him and said, Go in this might of yours, you shall save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have I not sent you? So he said to him, O my Lord, how can I save Israel? Indeed, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am least in my father's house. And the Lord said to him, Surely I will be with you, for you shall defeat the Midianites as one man. Then he said to him, If I have found favor in your sight, then show me a sign that it is you who talk to me. Do not depart from here, I pray, until you come and bring out my until I come to you and bring out my offering and set it before you. And he said, I will wait until you come back. So Gideon went in, prepared a young goat and unleavened bread from an ephah of flour. The meat he put in the basket, and he put the broth in a pot and brought them out to him under the terebinth tree and presented them. The angel of God said to him, Take the meat and unleavened bread and lay them on the rock and pour out the broth. And he did so. Then the angel of the Lord put out the end of his staff that was on his hand and touched the meat and the unleavened bread, and fire rose out of the rock and consumed the meat and the unleavened bread. And the angel of the Lord departed out of his sight. Now Gideon perceived that he was the angel of the Lord, which you'll notice angel of the Lord, it's all capitalized. That was Christ. So Gideon said, Alas, O Lord God, I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face. And the Lord said to him, Peace be with you, do not fear. You shall not die. But so Gideon built an altar there to the Lord and called it, The Lord is Peace. To this day it is in Ophrah of the Asbanites. Now it came to pass that same night that the Lord said to him, Take your father's young bull, the second bull of 7 years old, and tear down the altar of Baal that your father has, and cut down the wood of the image that is in it, and build an altar to the Lord your God on top of the rock in the proper arrangement, and take the second bull and offer the burnt sacrifice with the wood of the image which you shall cut down. So Gideon took 10 men from among the servants and did as the Lord had said to him. But because he feared his father's household and the men of the city too much to do it to this day, to do it by day, he did it by night. It's interesting too is the angel of the Lord, Jesus called him a mighty man of valor, and he was scared of his father and the people, so he did it at night. Just shows that we're all men, and God will use the least of us. And when the men of the city arose early in the morning, there was the altar of Baal torn down, and the wooden image that was beside it was cut down, and a second bull was being offered on the altar which was built. So they said to one another, "Who has done this thing?" And when they inquired, they asked, and they said, "Gideon, the son of Joash, has done this thing." Then the men of the city said to Joash, "Bring out your son, that he may die, because he has torn down the altar of Baal, and because he has cut down the wooden image that was beside it." But Joash said to all those who stood against him, "Would you plead for Baal? Would you save him? Let the one who would plead for him be put to death by morning. If he is a god, let him plead for himself, because his altar has been torn down." Therefore, on that day, he called him Jerubbaal, saying, "Let Baal plead against him, because he has torn down his altar." Then all the Midianites and the Amalekites and the people of the east gathered together, and they crossed over and encamped in the valley of Jezreel. The Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon. Then he blew the trumpet, and the Asmonites gathered behind him. He sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, and he also gathered behind, and was also gathered behind him. He also sent messengers to Asher, Zebulun, and Naphtali, and they came up to meet them. So Gideon said to God, "If you will save Israel by my hand, as you have said, look, I shall put a fleece of wool out on the threshing floor. If there is dew on the fleece only, and dry all around the ground, then I shall know that you will save Israel by my hand, as you have said." And it was so. When he rose early in the morning and squeezed the fleece together, he wrung out dew from the fleece and a bowl full of water. Then Gideon said to God, "Do not be angry with me, but let me speak just once more. Let me test him, I pray, just once more with the fleece. Let it now be dry only on the fleece, but let it be dry only on the fleece, but on the ground there be dew." And God did so that night. It was dry on the fleece only, but there was dew on the ground. Luke 22:54 through 23. Having arrested him, they led him and brought him into the high priest's house, but Peter followed at a distance. Now, when they had kindled a fire in the midst of the courtyard and sat down together, Peter sat among them. And a certain servant girl, seeing him as he sat by the fire, looked intently at him and said, "This man was also with him." But he denied him, saying, "Woman, I do not know him." And after a little while, another saw him and said, "Are you also are one of them?" But Peter said, "Man, I am not." And after about an hour had passed, another confidently affirmed, saying, "Surely this fellow was with him, for he is a Galilean." But Peter said, "Man, I do not know what you are saying." Immediately, while he was speaking, the rooster crowed. And the Lord turned and looked at Peter. Then Peter remembered the word of the Lord, how he said to him, "Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times." So Peter went out and wept bitterly. Now the men who held Jesus mocked him and beat him, and having blindfolded him, they struck him in the face and asked him, saying, "Prophesy, who is the one who struck you?" And many other things they blasphemously spoke against him. As soon as it was day, the elders of the people, both the chief priests and the scribes, came together and led him into their council, and saying, "If you are the Christ, tell us." But he said to them, If I tell you, you will by no means believe, and if I also ask you, you will by no means answer me or let me go. That hereafter the Son of Man will sit at the right hand of the power of God. Then they all said, You then the Son of God?" And he said to them, You are rightly say that I am." And they said, "What further testimony do we need? For we heard it ourselves out of his own mouth." Then the whole multitude of them arose and led him to Pilate, and they began to accuse him, saying, "We found this fellow perverting the nation and forbidding to pay taxes to Caesar, saying that he himself is the Christ, the king." Then Pilate asked him, saying, "Are you the king of the Jews?" And he answered him and said, "It is as you say." So Pilate said to the chief priests and the crowd, "I find no fault in this man." But they were more fierce, saying, "He stirs up the people, teaching throughout all Judea, beginning from Galilee to this place." When Pilate heard of Galilee, he asked if the man was Galilean. And as soon as he knew that he belonged to Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who was also in Jerusalem at that time. And when Herod saw Jesus, he was exceedingly glad, for he had desired for a long time to see him, because he had heard many things about him, and hoped to see some miracle done by him. Then he questioned him with many words, but he answered him nothing. And the chief priests and the scribes stood and vehemently accused him. Then Herod, with his men of war, treated him with contempt and mocked him, arrayed him in a gorgeous robe, and sent him back to Pilate. That very day, Pilate and Herod became friends with each other, for previously they had enmity between with each other. Psalms 95 through 96:13. 95 1 through 96:13. Oh, come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us shout joyfully to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving. Let us shout joyfully to him with psalms. For the Lord is a great God and a great King above all gods. In his hand are deep places of the earth. The heights of the hills are his also. The sea is his, for he has made it, and his hands form the dry land. O come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand. Today, if you will hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as in the rebellion, as in the day of trial in the wilderness, when your fathers tested me. For they tried me, though they saw my work. For 40 years I was grieved with that generation, and said, it is a people who go astray in their heart, and they do not know my ways. So I swore in my wrath, they shall not enter my rest. Oh, sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord, all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bless his name. Proclaim the good news of his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory among the nations, his wonders among the peoples. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised, for he is feared above all gods. For all gods of the peoples are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Honor the majesty Honor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are his sanctuary. Give to the Lord, O families of the peoples. Give to the Lord glory and strength. Give to the Lord the glory due to his name. Bring an offering and come to his courts. O worship the Lord in beauty of holiness. Tremble before him, all the earth. Say to the nations, the Lord reigns. The world is also is firmly established. It shall not be moved. He shall judge the peoples righteously. Let the heavens rejoice, and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roar in all its fullness. Let the field be joyful and all that is in it. Then all the trees of the woods rejoice before the Lord. For he is coming to judge the earth. He shall judge the world with righteousness and the peoples with truth. Proverbs 14 5 through 6. A faithful witness does not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. A scoffer seeks wisdom and does not find it, but knowledge is easy to him who understands. All right. See y'all tomorrow.